Thank God that I never had to pop a pill to have pop a pill. That's just not the real. I do me all. Ty got big in Madrid like Real. Now they scream rust like I played for the Seahawks. I eat off my own plate, big dough. The dough didn't open, so I went in through the window. 6 more months, that's like 6 more ends. I'm a ball forever while y'all disco ends. Circle so small, I can't fit more friends. And I see your bigger picture, but the pic's low res. The truth is at my command since I leveled up. Rule with an iron hand inside a velvet glove. Jealous love from the onlookers. Rappers reporting back to the pimps, you what we call hookers. Hand the bread over, the plan is get older. Drowning in money, so all the women swam over. Landowner, I be draped in silk and diamonds. Thwart the danger, glory or gain, I will survive this fucked up game that be playing with my psyche. Women trying to fuck me, rappers trying to fight me. Hope my girl loves me, shit, I hope she just likes me. Betting on myself, I'm all in Phil Ivy. Faith will guide me. On the bad days, it carries me. And on the good days, it's beside me. High key the best out. Y'all gotta respect the name. Not surprised you all sound the same, cause y'all dress the same. Like LMA, I'm in the goal, so now I'm booed up. Stars in the roof, and my wrist got a moonstruck. I'm too up, afraid that I'ma lose touch. That's why I'm with the people that were there before I blew up. Before the world knew us, before they seen the movement. Fucking with a chick that live right off of Beaver Ruin. Smoking in garages, stacking shoe boxes. Now I got whores giving 4-hand massages. Deep pockets, deposits. Wrote a self-help book, I'm on my Deepak shit. Get out of your own way, trust me bro, that's so vital. They said that I look like Jesus, so I wrote my own Bible. I don't wanna date you if your news wouldn't go viral. Yeah, I got rings, but I play like I got no title. No entitlement allowed around me. Respect the boundary, they should crown me. I'm the best out of Fulton County. Joke's on you for anyone who tried to clown me. I changed the game, it wouldn't be the same without me. So I'ma follow me, I don't trust what y'all say. And I'd rather walk alone than walk with y'all and go the wrong way. I'm always put my faith in me. Yeah, I'm always put my faith in me.
What is good, everybody? Welcome in to another episode brought to you by the League FFB. It is week 14 of the fantasy football season. Get in and win this week is what we're trying to do. Hopefully you guys have the chance to do that. I appreciate everybody who is here early in the chat. Look, Insidious, I know you said, look, late AF unsub. I get it. I might have just been messing around on the computer and then I realized, oh shit, it's time to go. And so I hit the live button. But hey, I appreciate everybody who is here early. Like I said, Grizz, Insidious, Ken, Patrick, Sports Zone, Juicy, Jay Gill, Dusk, everybody who is here early. Appreciate you guys. Hash, JM, everybody. So appreciate all of you guys for being here in the chat. We are going to be answering start sits here. That is the goal of tonight's stream. So we're going to be answering start sits, trades, waivers, all that good stuff. I know we're kind of past trade deadlines. I know the waivers are kind of, it is what it is. We're just trying to figure out who to play this week so we can get into the playoffs. So that being said, I don't want to waste too much time. Look, if you guys could do me the favor today, after I answer your questions, go hit that like button for me. It would really, show me some good support there if you just hit the like button after I answer your question. But you don't got to do it until I answer your question. Other than that, if you want to go above and beyond, the best way to do that is going to be over on Underdog. New customers who sign up and play $5 over there, they will get $100 in bonus funds. That's the best way to go to support that show, but you guys know that already. So let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into the first question. And the first question that I got here is from Ken. He says, what are the odds that CD comes back week 15 after 10 days rest? I hope he does, man. I hope he does. We did see, T. Higgins miss some time after the concussion. We've seen guys miss some time after the concussions. I don't like that he had that fencing posture. That's not ideal. We hope that he's ready for the playoffs, but I'd say right now, probably 50-50 still, and I know that's probably the cop-out answer. I know you said he seems pissed he couldn't come back in. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it may not even be his choice, though, right? Like, it could be somebody else hold him out. So, we'll see. I hope he's ready for Week 15, though. Start 2 in a Superflex, Lamar, Brissett, and T-Law. So, I'm looking at my quarterback rankings right now. I would currently have Lamar and Brissett as the top 2 plays. T-Law is right behind them. They're actually back to back to back. So it's 11, 12, and 13, but I'm going Lamar and Brissett here. What else we got here? Oh, we just skipped one. Sorry, my bad. Jay Gill says, Drew, man, oh man, I never thought I'd be asking this in a million years, but Matthew Stafford or Lamar Jackson this week, good problem to have. It is a good problem, and it's Matthew Stafford. That's the answer for me. I got him as a top 5 play. Lamar is not there, but definitely good problems to have. Juicy says, yo, I got to win 4 playoffs, PPR, play 2, Harvey, JJ, and Terry. So if I'm looking at the wide receivers right now, between JJ and Terry, I do have JJ higher than Terry this week. I also do have Harvey as a top 15 running back play this week. So I think for me, I'm going to go with Harvey and I'm going to go with JJ. I'm going to bench Terry, and I know people are pretty excited about playing Terry with Jaden Daniels this week. It is a tougher matchup on paper. Minnesota's been top 2 against the wide receiver position, one of the best in the league against wide receivers. So I don't know. I think I'd rather play the other guys here this week. I need CD for the playoffs. Better be good next week. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Where are we at with Patrick saying need to drop 2 players to pick up a quarterback with Brissett and bring BTJ off of IR. My running backs are Gibbs, Henderson, RJ, Tootin, Wilson, Corum. Wide receivers are CD, Igbuka, Waddle, BTJ, Pierce. And the tight ends are Warren, Fannin, Jags, and Rams. Okay. You need to drop 2 players. Well, I think Emmanuel Wilson is probably one of the drops. Tootin could also be one of the drops, but I also think Fannin could be one of the drops. Those would be my top 3 that I'd consider dropping. And I say Fannin because I think you're going to play Warren the rest of the way. I don't really see you playing Fannin over Warren the rest of the way. So that's probably what I would do with those guys and go from there. And then he says Burden or Strange in PPR. Give me Burden, man. No Romo Dunze. I'm taking Burden this week. If CD is out in week 15, would you look to pick up Flournoy or play either Watson or Godwin? I think the way that Watson's been playing, we probably should play him. He does get a tougher matchup. He gets Denver, who's number 1, so that is something to consider. But the way that Watson's been playing, we probably need to play him over trying to stream a guy like Flournoy. Stranger Juwan Johnson. This is the weekly tight end question that we get here, and I appreciate it. I have Strange higher in my rankings, so give me Strange over Juwan Johnson this week. What's up, Hash? What's up, A-Rod? Appreciate you being here, dude. A-Rod says, I got mad questions tonight. Good. Let them fly, dude. Let them fly. I'll try and answer as many as we can. Start 2 with Sutton, Watson, or T. Higgins in a half PPR league. I think for me, I'm probably going to go with Higgins as one of them. And I think I'm going to go with I kind of want to go with Watson. I kind of want to go with T and Watson as the 2 plays, and I kind of want to bench Courtland Sutton. Josiah says, in second and need a win for the bye. 1 quarterback. It's a 14-team league. 4-point passing touchdowns. I have May and Dart on bye here. These are the QBs available. Tyrod, Tua, Shuck, A-Rod, JJM, or Shadur. Who do I pick up? Right now, the highest in my rankings this week is going to be Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor is my quarterback 18. I think the next highest guy would be Shuck, followed by JJ McCarthy. Those would be the top 3, but Tyrod is the highest in my rankings, so I'm going to be playing him versus Miami. All right, second question. Who do I drop? I have wide receivers of Chase, Rice, Ladd, BTJ, Michael Wilson. My running backs are Dowdle, Vidal, Marks, and Hampton on IR. Tight ends are Warren, or the tight end is Warren. So who do you drop? Vidal. Vidal's the drop. Hampton's going to be back in the lineup this week. At least that's the way it feels. So, yeah, you drop Vidal and move forward with just Hampton. Trade deadline didn't pass yet. I just did one today. It's in Dynasty. I traded Drake London for Brees, Luther, and Mixon. I know a dud, but figured F it. Okay. I like Luther, man. I like Luther. I think he's a sneaky guy moving forward. I don't know if DJ Moore is here long term. I think Brees is interesting being a free agent this offseason. And Mixon, I agree, not worth anything today, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be worth anything forever. Still think he, assuming the health is there, it's been so weird with him, but assuming the health is there next year, feel like he should still have something left in the tank, even if it's just like, a little bit more than what Nick Chubb gave you this year. I feel like Nick Chubb's like a complete fall off. That probably wasn't a good idea. Like a Kareem Hunt, like what a Kareem Hunt gave you this year. I still feel like Mixon can give you more than that. So, yeah, I don't think it's a awful trade if you have the wide receiver depth, which you didn't really say if you did, but if you do have the wide receiver depth, I don't mind it. London is the best player in the deal for me, though. Buka, Brenton Strange, Juwan Johnson, Jalen Warren, Vele, Higgins, Woody, one tight end, and one flex. It's a full PPR. Okay, so it's going to be Brenton Strange is the one tight end. The one flex for me is probably going to be between Buka and Jalen Warren. I think I'm going to end up going... Man, I think I'm going to go Buka. So give me Buka and give me Brenton Strange. Caleb or Tyrod this week? It's definitely going to be Caleb Williams for me. I have Caleb Williams about 4 spots higher than Tyrod Taylor. So I'd still play Caleb over him. Do you like Burrow or May rest of season? I can potentially hold both and go week to week. It's an interesting one. I think for me, I'd still prefer Burrow rest of season than May. I don't mind holding both. I think those are the top 10 quarterbacks the rest of the way. So I don't mind holding both of them. I just look at Burrow's rest of season schedule here, and it is pretty decent. You get Buffalo this week, which is a tougher defense against the quarterback position, but, it could be a shootout with Josh Allen. Baltimore the next week, Miami the next week, and Arizona. Those are easier defenses, so I don't mind playing Burrow the rest of the way if you need the quarterback. What do we got here? Herbert, T-Law, or Taylor? This one I'm going to go with Herbert. Herbert right now is, let's see, quarterback 16. I got Tyrod as 18. And then, who's the other guy that we just mentioned? T-Law, Herbert, Taylor. T-Law, actually, I lied. T-Law's the highest in the rankings at 13, so give me T-Law. Sorry about that. What do we got here for Burt? Jacoby or Zay this week? Zay's got a matchup this week against Pittsburgh, which is 29th against the wide receiver position, so it's been pretty good. Jacoby has Indy, who's 28th, so just as good of a matchup. I think I'm still going to go Zay, just barely by a hair, but both of these guys I'd honestly view as top 24 plays and probably wide receiver 2s, both of them this week. If you can get both of them in the lineup, I would. Addison or Troy Franklin? I'm going Troy this week over Addison. Tough for me to really know what this offense in Minnesota is going to look like right now. It's kind of a mess, I think, at the moment. A lot of the players this week in their press conference, Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, a couple other guys came out and were kind of just like, somebody's got to take the training wheels off. And I don't know if it was a dig at J.J. McCarthy. I doubt it was a dig at J.J. McCarthy. But it was just like, Kevin O'Connell, we got to open this shit up, man. Like, what do we have to lose? And I kind of agree. I feel like Kevin O'Connell's been a little bit babying the offense this year, trying not to give JJM too much, and don't even know if that's even helped at all. So we'll see. Does your answer change on the question above if Olave doesn't play? If Olave doesn't play, yes, it does change, and I would probably go with Johnson over Strange if Olave doesn't play. Week 15 defense question: Jags defense versus Jets, or Seahawks versus Indy, or Eagles versus Raiders. I can pick up Chargers, Saints, Rams, or even Eagles. Thoughts? Currently hold Seattle and Jags. I think I would like that Eagles versus Raiders the most in week 15. I think that's the one I like the most. Luther Burden or Bryant Thomas Jr. Mike Evans in London not playing is killing me. Yeah, I mean, I feel that. The Bryant Thomas Jr. experience, man. What it has been this year has been abysmal. I think I still lean BTJ over Burden, but not confidently. Not confidently. Who do I start for my flex? Worthy, Neal, or Addison? I would go with Neal, I think, in the flex right now, assuming it's a full PPR. Yes, it would be Juwan Johnson. Aaron Rodgers in redraft. Luther is still available on waivers. Do I drop Terry, Myers, Neal, BTJ, or Warren? I would drop, assuming you don't need to play Neal this week, I would drop Neal for Burden. Zay, Wandell, Jacoby, Mike Evans, Luther Burden. Who's most likely to be the best wide receiver 2 option in the playoffs? I think Zay, potentially the best wide receiver 2 option in playoffs. Good matchup this week. It's Cincy next week. New England the week after that. New England's been bottom 5 against wide receivers. I feel like Zay's probably the most likely, but that offense has been boom bust. No problem, Dustin. Appreciate you, man. Insidious says, is 9 starting this week? If so, how much y'all winning by? Yes, he is starting this week. How much we winning by? Do I even want them to win? I kind of want to try. I just kind of want to get a better draft pick now. I mean, we can't make the playoffs. So, like, do you root for the better draft pick or do you root for some wins? I wouldn't mind seeing a couple more wins, but the schedule the rest of the way feels nice for them. Washington, Dallas, the Giants, and Detroit, all of those are like bottom 7 defenses against wide receiver and quarterback. So, could be an opportunity to stack some stuff together. But, yeah, I think I'd rather just have the better draft pick right now. Where do you have Jaden Daniels ranked this week? I've been a little bit more cautious with JD. I do have him. Where is he? Kind of have him around the Herbert, Caleb, CJ Stroud tier, which would be right around like quarterback 16 to 19. It's in that range. Michael Wilson to the moon this week. I think Michael Wilson's going to have another great week for everybody. What's up, Kevin? Appreciate you. Stash question. 14-man PPR, 3-player, keeper league. I've clinched playoffs. Adunze's out. Move him to IR and drop Scattaboo. Scat moves out of IR to pick up playoff stashes, which would be Pat Bryant or Ollie Gordon. I don't care to pick up Pat Bryant that much. Ollie Gordon, I'm more intrigued by. But honestly, if it's a keeper, I would be more interested, I think, in keeping Scattaboo for the keeper side of things next year than I would having an Ollie. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question. I picked 2 running backs to start and a flex play, or pick 2 running backs to start and a flex play. Options are Breece, Judkins, Harvey, Warren, Olave, Terry, Neal, Brian Thomas, or if you tell me to drop one of them guys for Burden. Okay, so Burden's still available on the waiver wire. I would say right now the 2 running backs for me, are going to be Breece as the first, Harvey as the second. Those are the 2 highest in my rankings. So I'm going Breece and Harvey. And then do you take one of these wide receivers as the flex play, or do you just lean into 3 running backs and go with Judkins? I think I would rather lean into the 3 and go with Judkins. So I'm just going to go Breece, Harvey, and Judkins as the 3 plays, 2 running backs and a flex. DJ Moore, Burden, or Godwin, pick 2. I'm going with... Oh, and he says this is rest of season. So we have to have like a rest of season. I would go DJ Moore for sure as one of them. I think Godwin right now over Burden rest of the way because we still need some more information about Odunze. So I think I'm going to go Godwin and Moore rest of season for the 2. Insidious says best wing flavor, barbecue the goat, in my opinion. I'm a sucker for lemon pepper, man. Lemon pepper is my favorite wing flavor by far. Circling back to your wide receiver depth question, I have Chase, Puka, Nico, Debo, Pat Bryant, and now Burden, but really all I had for running back was Judkins Kyron, who's been a scary play, Spears, and JCM. I needed running back. Okay. Yeah, I mean, with Chase, Puka, Nico, Burden, I think I would value Burden more than Debo in a dynasty moving forward, but it makes sense why you would need some more running back play, especially in the playoffs potentially. Arod says, who to flex, Neil, Burden, or Adonai? I think I like Neil as the safest option. Burden is probably the highest ceiling play for me, and Adonai Mitchell would be the third option. So I'm probably going to go with a ceiling play in Burden here, but the safe play, if you just need a couple points from the flex, is going to be Neil, because I think he can get you 10 points this week. Neil or Marks? Right now in my rankings, I currently have Neil is my running back 17. Marks is my running back 23. So I have Neil over Marks. I want to get into Dynasty League. How do you find out about leagues starting up, and when do they typically start? That's a good question. I think one of the best ways to figure out when a dynasty, or how to get into a Dynasty League, is one, the easiest way is probably just go into the Discord, and in the Discord they have a join a league or start a league. I have a channel in there that's basically about finding a league, and just say you're looking for a Dynasty League, and people will hit you up and tell you that they're ready to do a startup or whatever it may be, and you guys can get one together with people who are a part of this community. So that's the best way to do it. I really enjoy having you guys play with each other, because I think it only strengthens the community. Plus, you guys all kind of, already are into the content enough a little bit that you can all help each other and still have fun playing competitively against each other. So I'd say find a league in the Discord. If not, just gather a few people that you've played before, and you can just start one yourself. When do they typically draft? Most of the time, the drafts happen in the off season. So you'll usually do those drafts basically anytime between probably after the Super Bowl until the start of the NFL season. Those drafts are happening all the time. So you'll do a startup. That'll be your one startup draft. And then every year you'll just draft some rookies out of college from there on out. So that'll always happen right after the NFL draft in April. So that's probably what you would do. But I strongly encourage you, if you are looking to play, just go into the Discord. If you're not in the Discord already, join it. It's free. If you are already in there, then just hop up in there. And I know you're already in there. But just go into that, find your league, and then find some people there. I'm sure we can get you some people to play with. Full PPR, need a flex, Ladd, Brian Thomas Jr., or Jalen Warren. I'm going with Ladd. Ladarius McConkey. Do you have dynasty rankings for Harvey? My dynasty rankings right now. Currently have Harvey as my running back 15 in Dynasty right now. Neil or Chris Rodriguez? It's going to be Neil. Noli says, 10 team, start 9. I own JSN as a rebuilder. 2 teams are stacked with value. One of those teams is offering London, the 2-2, and a 27 first for JSN. Another team with bad value is offering Neighbors and a 26 late first. These aren't bad offers. I kind of lean the Neighbors and the 26 first side of the deal, but the London and the 27 first is also interesting. You just said it's a team with good value, so it's probably a late 27 first, but honestly, who cares? I think of the two, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think of the two deals, I lean the London and the 27 first side. But do you want to sell JSN? I'm not opposed. As a rebuild, I'm not opposed. I would try and turn that into, It's going to be a crazy ask. He's already offering the 2-2. See if you can make that 2-2, you know, a late first in 26. And if it's London and 2 firsts for JSN, I'm accepting it. Saw on Twitter that's a stretch fracture for Rome. I saw that too, but it's still so vague. Like, we don't know if that's going to be 2 weeks or if it's going to be the rest of the fantasy football season, which would be, you know, another 4 weeks, 5 weeks here, actually. 4 weeks that we'd be waiting out. So obviously not looking great. Honestly, the way I'm operating in my fantasy football leagues where I have Rome, I may have seen the last of him play, and to be honest, I don't know if I'm missing much because he ain't been scoring shit. So, whatever. We'll see. Hopefully they give us some more clarity, though, so if he is going to miss the rest of the season, we can just drop him to the waiver wire and move on and pick somebody else up. Also added Addison on top of the neighbors in 26 first and add a late second. Probably never start for me in this format, but I don't want to help the guy stacked with value. Okay. I mean, that adds value for sure. Addison and neighbors and a 26 first, but you would add a second. I think if he wants to be competitive with the other guy, he's got to let you keep the second and go Addison, the 26 late, and neighbors. You got to get these guys to kind of bid against each other here. See who wants the championship the most, because they're both probably trying to do it because they want to win a championship this year. So see who's willing to pay for the production the most. A-Rod says, appreciate you, fam. Those were all my questions. Appreciate you doing stuff like this. This and your content is why you were top 3 in my channels this year. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Frank says, should I start Chris Rodriguez, Bam Knight, Higgins, Addison, Vidal, or BTJ? I would go BTJ as the start. He would be the start for me. ETW says McLaurin, Swift, Godwin, or DJ Moore at the flex in PPR. Give me DJ Moore. Frosty says, what are some good streaming defenses? Whoa, what the hell? What the hell? What are some good streaming defenses for the playoffs? The Bucks is the question here. I think I would say good streaming defense is absolutely the Bucks are a good streaming defense. I like the Texans after this week. I like Miami potentially as a streaming defense the rest of the way. Also like the Eagles potentially as a streaming defense the rest of the way, except you have to play Buffalo in the championship. Also don't mind Baltimore the rest of the way. So there's plenty of good ones. But I think the Bucks are one of the best. Miami's one of the best. And probably the Texans are one of the best. But the Texans are going to be rostered. Prayers for CD and London back next week, please God. And I'll also throw in who was I thinking of? I'm missing somebody. Maybe we were just talking about Rome. Let's just get Rome back in the lineup, hopefully, and fix the drop issues and fix all the other bullshit. That's not gonna happen though. We'll talk a lot of Rome tomorrow. For the record, I just pulled all the trades for the Dynasty Trade Review show. The people in here who are fans of that, I just pulled all the trades for that for tomorrow's episode. Lots of Jefferson trades, lots of Odunze trades, lots of Mahomes trades. It's going to be a long Romo Odunze and Justin Jefferson conversation tomorrow, which is probably good because those players it's kind of tough to tell you what to do with them at the moment. So we'll work through all that tomorrow on the trade show. 12 teams, start 10, PPR, Superflex. Just traded Goff, JSN, and Nico for Chase and Jonathan Taylor. Happy with it because my team's stacked for contending right now, and Goff was on the bench. Nico was my wide receiver 3 to 4. Yeah, I mean, I like that a lot for you. Goff, JSN, and Nico for Chase and JT. That feels good. Feels like JSN and Chase are lateral as far as value goes. They are very equal. It's Goff and Nico for JT to help you win right now. Yes, sir. I like it. Let's see. Sports Zone says, I too would like to join a Dynasty League. I'm in 2 old school keeper leagues right now. Well, let's do it, man. Hop in the Discord and see if we can find some people for you guys to play in a Dynasty League together. And hopefully get one to start up. Because if you guys have a couple people in here that want to do it, you definitely could get a league together. Noli says, thank you. Appreciate you, Noli. Thank you as well for being here. Drop Baker for Jaden. Rest of season. Can't drop Goff. Yeah. I don't know if I can drop Baker for Jaden rest of the season. Jaden is going to be so hard for me to trust. Yeah, I think I'd rather just roll with Baker as the safety. AMJ says 12-team Dynasty Superflex tight end premium start 11. 3 weeks up to the deadline. 3 trades completed. I was able to secure Kyron, Rico, and JSN. Having no more 2026 draft capital, I flipped Saquon for a late 26 first and a second. What are your thoughts? Moving Saquon for a late first and a second, I do not mind that at this point in time in his career. You being a, team that I think you said contending, right? I'm assuming you're contending with Kyron, Rico, and JSN on the squad. I have no issues with liquidating Saquon at this point. What's Jetta's worth now? Are you buying or are you selling him? Yeah, this is going to be the big question for a lot of people, I think, right now. Generally, if you just look at the market, this is probably the lowest value. I can actually confirm this. Hold on. The value of Justin Jefferson is at the lowest point per KTC. It is the lowest it has been since September of 2021. So we have the lowest dynasty value for Justin Jefferson in 4+ years. Should you be buying? If there's any crazy dips, absolutely. We're talking about a generational gold jacket, Hall of Fame, level talent here. If it cost me, we're about to get into the offseason where people are going to get rookie pick fever. If I can flip my 102, my 103, hell, if I can flip my 101 for Justin Jefferson, I'm doing it. I'm buying the dip. It's the lowest, like I said, the lowest we've seen since 2021. And I just think it's going to get figured out. Keep in mind, the worst season we have seen from Justin Jefferson yet is right now probably, and he's still performing as a wide receiver too. Not what you want out of Justin Jefferson, but still somebody that I think is worth checking the price on for sure. In a bubble, how would you compare Rashee and Malik Neighbors in a trade? What side needs more compensation? I think in a bubble, they're very similar for me. I think I prefer Neighbors still over Rashee, but they're very close. I think it might have to be Neighbors for Rashee in a second. I think that's kind of where I would feel like it feels equal. But it's not a first. It's not a first gap between them. Moore or Mitchell? I'm going with DJ Moore over Adonai Mitchell. It's good, Roland. He says Hampton, Vidal, or Adonai Mitchell. One for my last flex with Rome out. Need more upside with Pickens dropping a dud. Fighting for the 2 seed. The 1 seed this week. Okay. Hampton is going to be my play. I will play Hampton. And the good thing about it is if he's, if we get some weird information or things like that where maybe they're like, oh, JK, he's not going to play this week, you can still play Vidal. But yeah, I'd go Hampton. Said playing against the 1 seed. Okay, that makes sense. Frosty says Garrett Wilson going to play? Not that I have heard of. Unless we got some more news today that I missed. But I don't think he's playing this week at all. Yeah, there's no way. Bo Nix at the Raiders or Jacoby Brissett versus the Rams. I have Nix as my quarterback 10 this week. Brissett as my quarterback 12. So give me Bo Nix. Insidious says Jefferson stock going to the moon when Vikings sign future first ballot Hall of Famer Russell Wilson this offseason. This is the second person that I've seen say this. What news source is telling y'all about Russell Wilson? Because whoever it is, I need to go slap him because we ain't seeing no Russell Wilson in Minnesota. Fuck that. I would rather see Russ is getting his TV tryout right now for Fox. I think he's commentating this weekend, so he's getting his TV tryout. But I would much rather, if we're moving off of JJ McCarthy already, I would much rather see it be for a Mac Jones type, for something else. I'm not going with Russell goddamn unlimited Wilson. I'm not doing that shit. What do we got? Johnny says half PPR, start Addison, DJ Moore, or T. Higgins. It's between DJ Moore and T. I think I'm going to go with DJ Moore this week. Frosty says Puka Rice, JSN, rank them for next season. I'm going to assume Adams is still in Los Angeles. So I'm going to go JSN, Puka, and Rice for next season. Today. That can change between now and then. Also, I don't ever watch Chiefs games. Is Rashi really a top 5 receiver? Is a lot of it Chiefs scheming him open and Mahomes being the GOAT? A lot more of the latter. I don't watch him personally. Do not hear what I'm not saying, folks. Do not hear what I'm not saying. I think he's talented, but I don't watch him and think he's a Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra, CD, Chase, JSN. I don't think Puka. He's not that level of talent at the wide receiver position, but he performs like that in fantasy football. So, yeah, more of the latter. Logan says Tyrod or Rodgers with a win and in scenario. In a win and in scenario this week, I'm playing Tyrod Taylor, and that makes me feel so nervous saying winning in, and then I say Tyrod Taylor's name, but that's what I'm doing. Frosty says, which 2 quarterbacks should I keep? Nix, Daniels, Dart. It's a 1 quarterback league. I think it's Nix and Dart. I think it's Nix and Dart. Insidious says, word to my mama, Russ is still that guy, even though he sucks and he ain't that guy. Word to your mama. Don't tell her I said it, Insidious, but you said it technically. Would you drop Diggs or Flowers to pick up DJ Moore? Looks like Adunze is going to be out for a couple of weeks. Full PPR. I feel like you got to have somebody else to drop other than these guys. But if I have to pick, I guess Diggs would be my drop, I guess. Yeah. But you got to have somebody else to drop other than these guys. All right, we are caught up. We're down. We've caught up with the questions. So 82 of them in. Let's get some more. Let's load them up. Let's get going for the second half of this stream. We're about 40 minutes in, so we got 20 more minutes to go. Maybe 20 more minutes and some change. I did start a little bit late today, but let's keep those questions coming, man. I'm happy to answer your guys' questions, or if you guys want to, spend 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is, shooting the shit, talking about other stuff, go ahead. Let's do it. This is a Q&A. It's for you guys, whatever you want to talk about. Whatever, topic of conversation, questions you have, fantasy, non-fantasy related, maybe just football related, whatever it may be, let's do it, man. The time is yours, and I'm happy to give it to you guys and talk about whatever you need to. So let's keep those questions coming. I'm going to let you guys load them up here just for a second, and then I'll get right back into it. I am going to remind you guys, too, because I kind of rushed through it at the beginning. But if you guys do want to go above and beyond, and you guys do want to support this channel, we've helped you guys a lot this year. Hopefully you guys have been around for the whole thing. If you haven't, hopefully you're here now. But if you want to support us at all, the best way to go do that is to go try Underdog. If you've never done it and you use our promo code, it does really help this channel. So League FFB is going to be the promo code. You play $5 in the app. They're going to give you $100 as well just for using the promo code. But it does give us, we get a little bit of money on the back end for you guys using the promo code. So would appreciate that. If not, the best free way to support this channel is always going to be subscribing, liking, commenting, doing that on the videos. So keep it up if you guys haven't. We're about a month away from the season ending, but what that means is lots and lots and lots of massive ramp up of Dynasty content on the horizon for the channel. So that is my favorite stuff to do. We'll talk about more of that in detail as we get a little bit closer to it, but I know you guys are probably excited for that as well, but just wanted to let you guys know that. So again, if you want to support us, it's right there. League FFB over on Underdog, link in the description, and hit that like button, man. Other than that, let's get back to these questions. I do have this one from AMJ who says, in a 12-team league, start 11, someone just put Devin Neal on the block. Was thinking of throwing a feeler out, but don't want to start too high. What are your thoughts? 4-round annual rookie draft. A third round pick is probably where I would start it. And honestly, I'm not even going to a second. I'd tell him a 3. If he wants to counter, you can do a 3 and a 4. That's where I'm at. So yeah, I'd probably leave it at that. Andrew says an 8-man PPR needs 2 out of the 3. Michael Wilson, T. Higgins, and Saquon. I think I'm going to go Michael Wilson and Saquon. Roland says, as somebody that rode Sam Darnold to a championship last season, I was screaming for the Vikings to re-sign him or at least franchise tag him. Horrible move letting him leave, in my opinion. Let JJ learn from the bench. Everything that I've heard has been that they did offer him a very comparable contract to the one that he got there from Seattle, and he wanted to go to Seattle because he didn't want J.J. McCarthy sitting behind him. That is what I've heard. I don't know. I'm not in the building, but I've heard that they did kind of offer him a contract and say, hey, let's run it back, and he didn't get the full commitment that he felt like he was going to get from Minnesota, because essentially that contract, keep in mind, that contract that he got from Seattle is essentially a 1-year deal. There's a way, for them to get out of this if he didn't play well. He's playing well, so obviously they're not going to get out of it, but there was kind of an out in it, some funny money on the back end. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think for me, I felt like JJ has been the plan, and what is the point of having the rookie quarterback when you have Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah and you have Kevin O'Connell and all of the guys in the building for 2 to 3 years before J.J. McCarthy is even in the building? They're talking about the benefits of building a roster around a rookie contract. You kind of get away from that when you don't, you're 2 years into a rookie contract and you're paying Darnold still. You know what I mean? Like, that was going to be the predicament that you put yourself in, and you could say they galaxy brained it. I would agree with you in a little bit, like overthinking maybe the rookie contract a little bit, but there is some truth to it. They had a plan, they stuck to it, and I don't fault them for that either. I will also say, as a Vikings fan, a lot of my life, most of my life, pretty much all of my life, I've watched them do the middling quarterback territory where they pay a vet and they do the boring option. I haven't really seen them go for the young rookie and try to swing for the fences. So I was all for it as a fan too, going for the swinging for the fences type of plan. But yeah, that's my little bit of Vikings talk there. I could drop May or Harvey or Waddle. I'm assuming I could drop May for Harvey or Waddle. I have Prescott. I would pick up Waddle. I would pick up Waddle if you need the wide receiver. Is the 2026 101 and 2 2027 firsts enough for May? It's a lot. I think that's fair value. The 101 and 2 first, yeah. You may have a hard time convincing the May guy to do it, but also that's a lot of value, and I think it's a fair offer. JD5 or Lawrence, I'm gonna go with T-Law this week. Who's your number 1 pick in 2026 Dynasty rookie drafts right now, potentially? It's Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame right now. If I had to pick, you're on the clock today, you have to pick somebody today. my answer is going to be Jeremiah Love. That can change between now and April, but today I feel the most confident in Jeremiah. I think he's going to be a stud. Insidious says, start 2, Egbuka, McConkey, Harvey, Walker, Brian Thomas Jr., and Shakir. It's going to be Harvey and McConkey as the 2 plays for me here. AK says, rest of the team is May, Prescott, Bucky, Gibbs, Genty, Harvey, Judkins, Egbuka, Waddle, J-Mo, Flowers, Diggs, Strange. This is in relevance to the DJ Moore question. Okay, so actually, here we go. This is better. It's an 8-team league, so it makes sense why those are your drops, knowing that it's in an 8-man league. So I don't mind rolling out Dak the rest of the way. But I think the answer is if you want DJ Moore that bad, I don't know if you actually need him, AK, but if you want him that bad, I think the drop is Diggs, looking at the team. You taking my Texans or Kansas City on Sunday? I think I'm going to roll with KC, man. I know they haven't been winning games this year, but I'm rolling with KC. I know it is crazy, but Michael Wilson or Justin Jefferson in a 12-team full PPR. It is a crazy question, but it's valid. But it is a crazy question. Who would have thought we would have been here? I currently have Michael Wilson over Justin Jefferson in my rankings this week, so give me Michael. Josiah says, I haven't been following you long, but I know you used to be a part of BDGE. What caused you to decide to leave, and would you ever do their YILM Fantasy League if they asked? So it was kind of a mutual agreement for the most part of us leaving, or I guess of me leaving. So when I had originally came over to BDG, it was kind of like, hey, let's do it for the year. Let's do it for the 2024 fantasy football season. Let's see how things go. We'll figure it out. They brought me over on the dynasty side of things. Then in season, the dynasty kind of slowed down. Nick kind of moved us over and had us talking about some redraft, which was fine because I already talked about redraft on my channel and some other stuff. But as we got to the end of the year, it was kind of just like, hey, you know, you want to do XYZ, and we don't really have that available at this point in time. And it was kind of just a mutual of parting ways. That's a whole lot of bullshit, I think, to tell you in a way of just, he wanted to go one direction, I wanted to go one direction, and it just didn't work out. And I had another opportunity that had presented itself for me to do more Dynasty content with Dynasty Nerds. So I decided to do that. I obviously have my brand that it was never a fallback option. It was the number one option for me. So that was always top of priority. And so I wanted to be somewhere where I could do that too. So a lot of, you know, it's really, I don't know if there's really too much more to it. Would I ever do your Idiot League Mates if they asked again? Yeah, potentially. I have no bad blood. I will say this confidently. I have no bad blood with anybody in BDG. There was never any beef. There was no fallout. There was never anything like that. Nick's my guy. We've done content since I left BDG. I mess with all those guys there. J-Mo, Tony, all of them. They're dope. So have no issues with any of them. Still talk to Adam and those guys. So yeah, have no issues. So would I do it? Maybe. Play 2 with Watson, Pittman, and Brian Thomas Jr. I'm going to go with I think Watson and Pittman. Caleb says, my team is Dak, Herbert, wide receivers are JSN, Rice, Adams, Egbuka, Evans, running backs are Gibbs, Bucky, Judkins, Woody, Benson, Blake Corum, tight ends are Kincaid. Any moves you think I should make? Also, who would you start? I mean, okay, here you go. Actually, there's a second part. I was going to say, I don't know how many starters you have at each position, but 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a flex. The 2 running backs I would play would be, well, hopefully it's Gibbs, already have been played, and then I would play Bucky. The wide receivers, I would go with JSN, Rice, and Adams. So those would be the starts, and then I guess your one flex would probably be Judkins for me this week over Egbuka. Any moves do I think you should make? I think the tight end's a little weak, so if you can improve the tight end, that would be probably the best way to do it. Could you rank your top 5 dynasty quarterbacks? Yeah, actually, let me just pull them up. So right now, I'd still have Josh Allen number 1. I think Drake May probably needs to be number 2 right now. So I'm going to go with Allen, May, Daniels. And then I think I'm still going Lamar and Mahomes. So those are going to be my 5. Allen, May, Daniels, Lamar, and Mahomes. Cowboys coach said Lamb had a good day today. We like to hear that. We do like to hear that. Martians got the death beam pointed at Earth. One man to save the Vikings' future. Prime J.J. McCarthy or Prime Fran Tarkenton. Have we seen Prime J.J. McCarthy? I don't know. Give me Fran. What are we doing here? Drop Mooney or Reed for Garrett Wilson? I don't mind dropping either of them. I guess I'd rather drop Reed right now because he isn't actively playing, I guess. How do you feel about LeBron giving up his 1,297 10-point game streak for the game-winning shot for the Lakers win? Good shot by Rui. Good shot by Rui. There you go, Frank. How are we feeling about Bearsall rest of the season? I got options out on the waiver wire. AD, Keenan Allen, Higgins, Burden. Don't need any of them this week. I think I'd rather have Pearsall than those options. Maybe not more than Burden. I might like Burden more than Pearsall rest of season, but I like him more than the other guys. Have to sit Devontae, Michael Wilson, or ETN in full PPR. It's probably ETN. What's JSN's trade value? 2 firsts at minimum. At minimum, he's probably closer to a 3. I mean, most people view him as the dynasty wide receiver 1 right now, so his value's through the moon. Cool, appreciate you answering that. Love watching their games and stuff, but follow you for actual fantasy football content. Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they make great content. They're great people. You know, Nick has been a really good person, I think, to ask for advice when it comes to growing a fantasy brand and a business and things like that. So I have nothing negative to say about any of those guys. It was just more so, you know, direction. I want to go this way and they want to go that way, and that's fine mutually, you know, and there's never going to be hard feelings about that. So it's better for everybody. Caleb says, all right, thanks. Is it worth holding on to somebody like Blake Corum or better picking up a breakout waiver like A.D. Mitchell? If you don't need somebody to play, I would rather just have Blake Corum because the upside, if he were to get onto the football field as the starter, is going to be much higher than a guy like AD. Lamar Daniels this weekend. Give me Lamar. Rather play Lamar. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that one. Neal or Addison, PPR also. I'm assuming that's Gadsden or Waller in PPR for tight end spot. I'm going to go with Neal over Addison. And then for Gadsden versus Waller, I'm going to go with... It's tough. I have them back-to-back. Gadsden at 14 and Waller at 15. I think I'm still going to go Gadsden, though. Best defensive stash for next week: Niners versus Titans, Jags versus Jets. Both teams are at home. I think I'd rather the Niners versus the Titans next week. Would you trust the Saints defense for weeks 16 and 17? 16 and 17. Who are their matchups? We got the Jets in week 16 and the Titans in week 17. I think you could look at them and say, yeah, they're decent matchups. Tennessee the better matchup than the Jets, but I'm not super excited about the Saints defense overall. So can you trust them? No. Are the matchups decent? Yeah, I mean, they're solid. What do we got here? Would you get an Austin Reeves jersey over a LeBron jersey? Absolutely. I would absolutely get an Austin Reeves jersey over a LeBron jersey. I don't know if I'd get either of them though. I don't really rock basketball jerseys like that. Most of my life, never really rocked them unless I was actually wearing them to play in a game because I grew up playing basketball. But other than that, I wear them to a basketball game, maybe over a hoodie. I've worn like a couple Kobe jerseys. Those were in my closet as a kid. I bought a Lonzo Ball UCLA jersey because I wanted him to go to the Lakers. I had a Lamar Odom and a Derek Fisher jersey growing up watching those guys. I had a Pau Gasol jersey. But most of my jerseys, I had a Kobe USA jersey, Team USA. But most of my jerseys I had when I was a kid, and I can't tell you I've ever bought a basketball jersey as an adult. Is that a hot take to say that I've never worn, nor have I ever bought a basketball jersey as an adult? And maybe adults just shouldn't buy basketball jerseys in general? I don't know. How do we feel about the Los Angeles Clippers defense? Clippers. I just said Clippers. How do we feel about the Chargers defense rest of the season? Somebody dropped them, and I have Detroit and Indy. The Chargers defense. I don't love it. They play Philly this week, who isn't a great matchup. Then they play Kansas City, then Dallas, then Houston. Probably not good for the Chargers the rest of the way. Would you rather have Detroit and Indy? Yeah, I think so. So I would not pick up the Chargers. Love the jerseys in the back. Are they signed? Yes, they are. This Jefferson jersey was signed. I bought all of them at the same time when I was living in Utah, and I had it in my office originally. And so I wasn't even making content on YouTube at the time. It was just for a man cave. I got this Jefferson one. That one's signed. It's authenticated by Beckett. I have a Dalvin Cook one here. You can't really see it on camera, but it's Dalvin Cook, also authenticated by Beckett. And then I have one over here that nobody gets to see because it's not on that, back wall. It's Eric Kendricks, linebacker for the Vikings a couple years back. That one's signed by Beckett as well. This helmet here for the Dynasty folks, you may recognize the name. Irv Smith signed helmet back there as well. So all that stuff, just Viking stuff that I bought when I decked out my man cave for the first time. But I'm moving at the end of the year and probably need to, get some new stuff for the walls and new stuff for the shelves and things like that. So we'll see. But that is it, folks. I don't see any other questions. We are caught up again. My wife just walked in the door, so I may go say hey to her for the first time today as well. So appreciate everybody for being here. Like I said, in the middle and in the beginning of the stream, if you guys do want to support, the best way to do that is by hitting that like button. It is the best free way to show the channel some support. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed. And other than that, stay tuned for the rest of the content this week. We got a Dynasty Trade Show coming out tomorrow. We took a week off last week for Thanksgiving, but we're back tomorrow. So Dynasty Trade Show. And on Sunday, before the games, we're going to be doing a start-sit stream again as well. I'm going to say this is the last question that I see here. We got that sick from Caleb, so appreciate that. And then we got this one that says, no, I've never bought a jersey in my life. I got them as a kid. Allen Iverson, Jerry Rice, Steve Young, the greatest baseball player ever, Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds doesn't get his respect because of the dope. I get it. But, yeah, man. Thanks, Andrew. See you later. We got to appreciate the help. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. And Undertones, my guy, says, dig the live Q&A. New sub here. Appreciate that. That's it, folks. Nothing else for you guys today. Like I said, Dynasty Trade Show tomorrow. See us on Sunday before the games. We'll be live before the games again to answer those start sits. And then it's fantasy playoffs time. So good luck, guys. Hopefully we helped you with some start sits. We'll see you on the next one. Till then, peace out.